Hi, this is Matt from Jiggery-Pokery, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about Chenille BBD Chorus Ensemble, our new rack extension for Reason. In collaboration with Pitchblend, we have built a brand new and exclusive emulation of the classic analogue Bucket Brigade chorus devices of the 1970s and 1980s. These devices were capable of very smooth and often very transparent chorus effects, and that transparency has been lost in software and Reason choruses, which, while not always unusable, have always had quite a harsh, brutal tone, with quite obvious sweeping and flanging, which is something you really don't want in a chorus effect. Thus, unlike those choruses, Chenille is unique in Reason, in that it is based directly on analogue chorus circuits. These include chorus circuits used in string ensembles, such as the eminent 310U, and single and multi-BBD delay line choruses used in guitar pedals, rack units, and even synthesizers. Due to the way I've designed Chenille, we can basically emulate pretty much all of the Bucket Brigade choruses, some more closely than others, but we've set it to cover three particular setups: the Dimension D rack unit, which is a particularly specific and unique setup, string ensembles, and the CE1 guitar pedal. If we look at the back here, we can change the mode with this phase switch. There we have CE1, Dimension D, and Ensemble, and this simply changes the phase relationship between the LFO modulation when we have oscillator sync on. So Chenille has a chorus that's much closer to the true analogue sound in that it's incredibly warm and rich. For example, you cannot do an ensemble chorus with just one LFO and one phase offset. They require two LFOs and typically use two phase offsets, with a slow LFO, which we have at the top here, and a fast LFO at the bottom, which is mixed together to modulate the clock rate, which is the speed the Bucket Brigade operates. We modulate the clock rate rather than the delay time. Chenille is the only Reason chorus that can do ensembles or some of the more complicated setups like the Dimension D. I've got a subtractor here with just a basic saw wave, thus. And we can turn on Chenille with an eminent preset patch. As you can hear, it's a true ensemble chorus and not just a unison, which is quite a different effect. We do include a unison effect as a little extra in Chenille, but we don't need it here. We can go from 2 to 8,192 stages in full range mode, and the more stages the delay line has, the longer the delay, and the more distortion would be added and the output level decrease. But in my opinion, there's little value in modelling capacitor output level behaviour in a software device, as you know, you can just turn down the gain a bit, which we can do here. Similarly, we're modelling distortion as a separate add-on, so you can actually have a full-length delay with no distortion, or a short delay with maximum distortion, or you can set it to a typical value of the BBD circuit you wish to emulate. Thus, it's a very flexible design. We do double the modulation knobs. By default, they control modulation depth, but if you press Rate Edit, you can adjust the LFO rates. Normally, you'll want oscillator sync on, in which case you only need to use the yellow knobs in Rate Edit mode, these two here, and these other 5 channels are automatically the same rate and are correctly offset according to the phase setting we've made at the back. With oscillator sync off, all 6 channels are now free running, so you can set all 12 LFOs to different rates if you wish. With oscillator sync off, all 6 channels are free running, so you can set all 12 LFOs to different rates if you wish, and this phase switch has no effect. The ensemble mix section not only sets the level for each active BBD channel, but sets the stereo positions, with swapped stereo positions on the bottom row. So BBD1 is left input to left output, but BBD6 below it is right input to left output. Turning the BBD amp mix rotary to the left changes the output to a phase inverted and high pass signal. The stereo and phase inversions and high pass filtering is based on the more complex behaviour of the Dimension D. And so Chenille is essentially a self-contained semi-modular chorus system. With this you can now get that professional studio chorus sound in Reason, with subtle vocal and guitar chorusing without the sweeping behaviour. While ensembles work fine at 100% wet, when putting choruses on many other instruments, but vocals in particular, it is important that you don't have too much wet signal. 50% is more than enough, and often you'll find much less is enough, just to find the extra body you're looking for. And here's an example of that on vocals. This is a track I remixed for Julibee last year, and has now been Chenilled up. We'll hear it dry first, then turn on the Dimension send, and it's at around 40%. Importantly, it's quite clear in the mix, so if we unsolo this track and again try it dry, then wet, we can hear where it just adds the fullness. Chenille is also great on guitar. The classic CE style tones are lively, but try it on other modes too and experiment. If the device looks a little unusual, we do have lots of great presets, so don't be scared by it and just pick a favourite. That's Chenille, the classic studio chorus for Reason. I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. Oh, and PS. During testing, one thing I loved doing is to grab a Thaw and load up a patch I did a few years ago for the factory sound bank, an innocent looking thing called Synthex Ring Mod. I turn off the Thaw chorus and load up a particular Chenille preset. And now we can do this.